Eden by obsessmuch. Read by SsjDeBusk. I don't own Harry Potter or Eden. Harry Potter is owned and written by J.K. Rowling and the WB, and Eden is written by obsessmuch on fanfiction.net. Chapter 20. My Protector. Some have won a wild light, my darling, wilder sorrows could I gain thy love tonight. I'd hazard death tomorrow, could the battle struggle earn one kind glance from thine eyes. How would this withered heart burn, with heat of flight to try? Charlotte Bronte, Passion. Oh, Charlotte! Charlotte wrote, oh my god, I can't even remember. The book, and I did like it, a little. No, I didn't. Charlotte Bronte. Not Wuthering Heights, but the other one. Who wrote? What? Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte. It's a thick book. Did she write Jane Eyre? Yeah, she did. I don't know why I had such issues. I was like, it's Jane Eyre, but I couldn't say the words because I didn't think it was. I don't know why. That's weird. Anyways. There's no point, Ron. They've put a silencing charm on the door. Shh, I think I can hear something. I lost the accent already. If you can, you're not going to overhear anything that can help us. Why is Ron there? What? I swear to God Ron left. Oh, they're just okay, sorry. They're just doing the chores the next day. I get it. Okay, sorry. I was like, weren't they talking? Didn't they send Ron away? Okay. No, he was away and now he's back. Okay, I get it. Well, I'm sorry. I haven't resigned myself to spending the rest of my life in this hellhole just yet. I sigh and go back to scrubbing the floor as he presses his ear to the door once again, his face straining to listen. As he listens with all of his might, I saw Lucius again today. It was the first time I'd seen him since I got my memory back. It's always been Bellatrix that's brought me down to do my chores. Not that I care. I've got enough to get along with all the housework these bastards have got us doing. All except for the cooking, of course. They don't trust us with knives. It's not as if I miss him when I'm alone, either. Because then, all I'm doing is trying desperately to use wandless magic again. Not that I could ever miss him anyways. I hate to admit it, but I think he might have had... I had it all dramatic, and then I was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be saying. I have to admit, but I think he might have been right when he said wandless magic can't be forced. No matter how hard I try it. It just won't come out. I grit my teeth, scraping the wet cloth against the stubborn patch of something unmentionable on the floor. I can't give Bellatrix an excuse to punish me again for failing to get the room completely spotless. I feel a stab of resentment then. It's alright for Ron. He can afford to waste his time listening at the door. Bellatrix won't punish him. I don't think she's allowed to, but even if she was, I know that she would choose to punish me rather than him. And not just because I'm a mudblood either. Lucius could have at least looked at me today. Could have at least acknowledged my presence, the bastard, excuse me. They seem to be holding some kind of meeting in the next room. Ron is convinced that if he just listens hard enough at the door, he will overhear something that might help us escape. Or something that might be useful to the Order if we actually do escape. Because we will escape in the end, he says. Or if we don't, then the Order will come and rescue us. Sometimes I wonder how he still manages to hope. To give up all pretense of hope. I gave up all pretense of hope the night Lucius came to my room and told me that my parents were dead. I just read that chapter. Sorry. I listened to it. I was loading it. Sorry. I take a deep breath and steady myself. Grief grasping at my heart, making me physically sick. Even a change of scenery might make things better, if only I had a distraction. Ron, you know that garden you were talking about? He presses his ear harder against the door, his face screwed up with concentration. Yeah? Could you tell me about it again? For God's sake, how the hell am I meant to hear anything if I got you withering on at me every second? I press my lips together and slam my rag into the ground, scrubbing furiously. Barely a moment passed before I feel a hand on my shoulder. Hermione. What? I snap. I'm sorry, he says awkwardly. I'm being a brat. An unwilling giggle escapes me as I look up at him. He smiles sheepishly. It's all right. I forgive you, I say, smiling. Thanks. Thanks. I know I'm an idiot for listening at the door. It's just... He struggles to find the words for a moment. I can't believe that there's no way out for us. He sits back, putting his head in his hands. And it's not as if I have anything else to think about. He's looking at me. Don't get me wrong. I know it's worse for you. At least Bellatrix and Dolenhof leave me alone. But it's crap having no one to talk to. They just bring me food, take me out to the garden for exercise, and bring me down here for work. He stares. He sits up on his heels, his mouth filling out. All I have to stop me from going mad is that planning our escape. And I'm not going to give up. I wish I could be more like him. I wish I didn't have complete and utter hopelessness weighing down on me. I'd do anything for the sweet hope that things might somehow get better in the end. If Ron has thoughts of escape to keep him sane, then what do I have to cling to all this time in order to hold on to my sanity? Ron, he's what I've held on for. If he wasn't here, I think I would have lost my mind as soon as Lucius locked me down in the cellar and forced me to call myself Mudblood. Isn't there any way out through the garden? I ask, even though I know what the answer will be. He shakes his head. No, I've looked whenever I've been out there. I mean, you put a binding spell on me so I can't get far away, but as far as I can tell, it's definitely underground. There's no way of getting out. I suppose if there was, they wouldn't have risked taking you out there in the first place, he sighed. Yeah. He trails off, his eyes fixed on some middle distance. Can you tell me more about it? I asked. I mean, you were pretty vague when you told me about it before. And it doesn't look like I could just see it myself. It takes him a while to answer. It's kind of dark, he says eventually, his voice slow and faltering. It's like it's always night time out there. It's really strange, because it's moonlight. That can't be moonlight because there's no sky. The light seems to come from inside the place itself, if that makes sense. I nod, even though it doesn't. There are, he gestures to the fence, trees everywhere. The ground's covered with leaves, and well, they're like ruins. You know, like the remains of an old Muggle abbey, he means. Do you mean abbeys? I asked, smirking. He grins and shakes his head, as if he were waking up from a dream. I'd love to go there, I say truthfully. It sounds beautiful. It is. He frowns slightly. But it's weird as well. I don't know how to explain it. The atmosphere of the place is really odd. He seems unable to voice his thoughts, though, and his eyes smoke over for a moment. They clear again when they look at me. I'll try to get them to take you there, he promises. Next time they take me out, I'll get them to take you with me. No, don't, I say quickly. I don't want you to get yourself into trouble. Maybe Lucius will take me down if I ask him. His eyes twitches slightly before he picks up the cloth and slams it on the ground, screaming furiously. Ron, the floor's fucking filthy. I'm gonna be here forever. He won't look at me. His voice shakes slightly. Ron, I only meant that things between Lucius and I couldn't get much worse. Doloff and Bellatrix mainly leave you alone, so there's no point in you looking for trouble with them. If I ask Lucius, then he might punish me, but at least things can't. Footsteps. Both our heads snap up. Someone's coming. Not from the room where Lucius is, but behind the other door. We look at each other, nod, and then hurriedly start scrubbing at the floor. The door creaks open. And I look up as far as I can without moving my head. Draco steps up into the room, a cold, malicious little smirk on his lips. I can't say the word lips. My stomach sinks down to my toes. What the hell is he doing? What the hell does he want? Well, look what we have here. Cannot do his voice. Look at what we have here. He comes into the room, kicking the door shut behind him. Ron's head twitches up, his cheeks going blotchy when he sees who it is. He sputters. What are you doing here? Draco's eyes are glittering slits of malice. Didn't your little mud-blood friend tell you I was here? He drawls. Ron turns to me with an accusatory look. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to worry you. Besides, I didn't know he was actually staying here. I was in Granger, but now I am now. Draco grins. I asked Father if I could, and he said he didn't see the harm in it. So you'd better get your bushy head of yours down and work hard, hadn't you? Ron makes a sudden movement, but I grip onto his arm. Don't rise, I mutter under my breath. It's what he wants. Just don't rise. Draco has pulled his wand out of his robes and he's pointing it at Ron. His face is flushed, and his grin shakes on his lips. Yeah, that's right, he says a little breathlessly. You need to do as you say now, Weasley. God knows. It's been a long time coming. Clean the floor. An ugly flush spreads across Ron's face. I reach across and gently squeeze his hand. Just ignore him, Ron. Come on. He shakes my hand away in his temper. He scrubs at the floor, his lips working around silent words of fury. Draco laughs maliciously as he puts his wand away. What are you so upset about? He drawls. Your thought, vermin, like a family, should be used to housework. I mean, it's not as if you could have found any house elves, is it? Ron doesn't look up from the floor, though his face is almost maroon with suppressed rage. Stop, Malfoy. You might want to watch your language. You are, after all, in the presence of your betters. Ron lifts his head to speak, but I grip at his arm, digging my fingers in as a warning. He presses his lips together and goes back to washing the floor.